Hey everyone, welcome back to Unsealed and Revealed. I'm Terry Smith, your host for today, and we are going to be doing some really cool stuff, unboxing a very cool character. I'm here today, as always, with my buddy Guy Klender. How's it going over there, Guy?
It's going great. Bat-tastic.
You went there. You totally went there. I'm so excited for you.
I'm out.
We may have lost our moderator who's going to leave.
Lose the moderator. 2 seconds, Guy. It took you 2 seconds.
You lost me. You lost me with that one joke.
A new record for you, man. Alex, welcome to the show. It's great to have you back, handling the field of the questions and everything, and just making sure that everything stays somewhat sane with all the comments. Sane. On it. Yeah, we appreciate you. It's, like I said, it's good to have you back. Always good to see you. How you doing?
I am. Wait, I'm going to try to be Guy. I am beyond excited.
Oh,
to
yes!
be here.
Oh,
yeah, pull out the cheese.
I'm totally coming up short here, man. I really want to rise to the occasion, but apparently neither my dad humor nor my puns are on point today.
Listen, you got to get your puns on point, my friend.
Yeah.
Dude, we're only 2 minutes into the show. There's plenty of time for me to just make everybody groan. I'm sure it's going to be coming. Yeah, just a matter of time. Alex, we've got a new thing coming to this show today, do we not? Something you want to tell us about?
Yeah, listen, we love posing. We love you posing. We love seeing what guys doing, and we want to see what the people at home are doing with their poses. If you're watching along and you're posing along with us, we want to see it. We want you to bring it to us. So if you're uploading it to social media, do your cool poses and use the hashtag #HomePoser. Hashtag #HomePoser, and there's a potential we may feature your photos in an upcoming episode. What do you think of that?
Can we get a trademark on that hashtag? Because I think that's really, really cool.
I love it.
See that happen.
HomePosers, TM.
HomePosers.
I think it's
TM.
I think it's so much fun. It's so much fun. I've lucked out. I've had a few people reach out to me and say, "Hey, this is my," and actually send photos or questions or other. And that to me is one of my favorite things to see, is going, "Hey, wow, you're doing along with us." So you're taking Terry's class as well. So it's like another classmate.
I gotta tell you, I'm really kind of jazzed about the whole notion of seeing more and more people posing on social media, and it is something that has taken off. I don't often go out and seek those things out, but when I do, it's just kind of really cool to just see more and more people are doing it, and it's become. I think it's probably too much of a stretch to say it's a phenomenon, but it's definitely a thing.
Oh, it's yes.
So
it's trending.
So speaking of posing, we're going to get to some of that posing thing today. But before we need to unbox this figure, show you everything that it's got and all that it's capable of. And the man who's going to be doing that is the man poised to attack that Batman Beyond figure right there. Guy, talk to us about this thing.
All right. Now, this is from the Arkham Knight video game, which I am not any good at, but I can pose this figure. It's an incredible looking figure. Up on the front here, this is going to be a photo of the figure itself. All of your graphic and information there. It is a wraparound. I always love wraparound graphic. All right. On the other side,
it looks really good.
Your Batman Beyond. Another pose of it.
Now, I've got to say that I've seen a lot of these figures, these Batman figures from this video game, and this, of all of them, has gotten me the most jazzed.
This one is really neat, and the posability and everything on this guy is fantastic. Of course, that winged thing that we're going to look at. This is that magnetic closure, showing you a little more breakdown there, as well as the figure. And we are going to open up here and take it out. Now, what I already have out of here is something that I always treasure, that Terry is not a fan of, and that is instructions.
Oh, God, no. Take it away.
And I do want to bring them up because they are going to be pretty important on this guy here. They're going to tell you a little bit about how to do the wings, which we will be doing, as well as things you can and cannot do with accessories and stuff. So we will be going through that. In your top tray, you're going to have your figure. You are going to have 6 additional hands, and you're also going to have your swap out faceplate. Okay, I'm going to take those out now. While I have Sam do kind of a head to toe. I'm going to pop on a little light there because the reason I want a little light on there is to show all of the different type of looks that he has on there. We're going to have some really, really neat. You see all of the different metals. There's even a little bit of bluing there down on the shin on that one there. You see there's that hint of blue color. You've got the fabric.
Yeah. Subtle.
Yeah, I really, really think this is so far of the ones from the game, the Batman ones. This is my favorite.
Yes.
Everything about what it's able to do is pretty darn neat. Particularly the undersuit.
The undersuit is a step up. I can tell just by looking at it.
Exactly. And you'll see the little swap out faceplate. Now in your lower tray, you are going to have your dynamic stand with clamp. And that is where you're also going to have the wings. All right. So we're going to talk about those in a second. I'm going to lift that up so you can see what there. You're going to have this is the clip that's going to attach the wings, and I'm going to do that for you here on camera, and then the wings laying in. So I'm going to take those out right now, and we'll talk through those. Before I build the wings, however, Terry, I do want to go over this guy head to toe because I think he's fantastic.
Talk to me, Goose.
What I like is I love the big tall ones. Any of the times when they did the suit and they were exaggerated like that. Now this is a ball joint. All right. So I've got quite a bit of movement there. As far as, and because we're talking about the flight, I do want to show how far back you can tilt that. Okay. This neck piece is a solid piece. Okay. So we're not going to have a motion feature there, but you do have quite a bit there. Now, because we have that on the side, I'm going to take this opportunity to swap out the faceplates. All right. This is that classic that we're used to, that dark there. And I love it. And I love the bright red eye. Okay. You also see kind of the gunmetal black. It's so dark. And then that glossy there. Now the faceplates are magnetic. Yep. There's the first horrific thing I do
That's
right
really
off the
gross,
bat.
Guy.
But what I think is so neat, and this is the way I'll be displaying mine, the other magnetic faceplate is going to have, can you see through it?
Yes.
Isn't that incredible?
Mm-hmm.
I really, really dig on that, okay? And again, these are a magnetic, so you can swap out. This is what most people are used to, so I guess we can stick with that for now. But let's also talk about the suit and the bodysuit on it. All right? You see how I'm moving these here. That allows me to give a great range of motion on there. All right? What this is also showing is the undersuit. This is what sets this guy apart, is that we're used to having very, very tight suits on our Batman figures. This is a nylon, almost what you would kind of look at for like a paragliding or a skydiving type.
Yeah, I see that somebody
suit.
actually said in the comments that it seemed like a parachute outfit material or sort of thing. So yeah,
exactly. And because of that, I'm not having to worry so much. I'm not going to worry that we're going to get tears or I'm going to stretch it too far or anything like that. When I'm moving this guy around.
And you know what they say, Guy, that you can't get Terry without tear.
Exactly.
Just saying.
So our ball joint standard for the hands. Take a look at those fists, though. And this is on all of the hands that you're going to get. And I'll pull out one that's more open. Is it just has all of the little metal plates.
Yeah.
Very tactical. This is a very tech.
Looking like something one might want to use for spelunking.
Exactly. Yeah. I like the little hints of color, like the little dot of red that's in there. Okay. And let's take a look. Then we go into our classic Batman gauntlet with very pointy blades. Okay, these are not metal. They are a hard plastic. They are not a pliable, so use caution when posing or when you have it near other fabrics, particularly like when we're going to work with the wings, things like that. Do be cautious.
Do you think they're likely to mortally wound anybody?
Perhaps. Perhaps if you did it, if you don't know what you're doing, no. Just be cautious when you're doing it.
Or even if you do.
But I'm loving again the different paint op and colors that you're getting in there. That's the neat part, is even though you go, oh, well, it's a deep dark black suit. Yeah, but there are variants in it. You can see even the little scratches. This is not, he's been in at least one battle before wearing this guy. All right. Double jointed. All right. Now, of course, even though you do have the double joint, realize that because of the gauntlets and such, you will have to do a little bit of maneuvering. Okay. A little bit of adjustment when you do. We're going to work our way a little bit. There's the back plate. Okay. Now, right here, this back plate, this little bit that you see, that will remove, and that will be where we put our wings. And we're going to build the wings, and we're going to do that in just a little bit. But again, fun use of different types of the metal. Again, those little hints of red. Back here, while we've got that, and Sam's got us on this angle here, you can see the different looks that you've got, the different fabrics, those metals, that nylon here, the suit on the side, the ribbed look under there. Then you've got the clamps, which is spectacular. That utility belt, big and honking.
It is really big.
And it's in that same metal color. This isn't a bright red or a khaki or anything like that, but it does have that hint of the red there. All right. We go up into the chest area here, and this is what appears to be one large plate, again with that glowing red emblem.
But it looks like it gives the appearance of being more than one plate. That's
exactly. It does have the appearance of one, and it's important to show that. I'm going to hit it with a little light to illuminate a little bit better there. That you do see that it does have one split there. It has the appearance of all being one piece, but it is not. And this does give us a little bit of room to move, or as we call it, the Terry twist.
Hashtag Terry twist.
Yes. We're gonna hashtag. We will indeed
variations in the
hashtag
colors there.
Hashtag that there. But yeah, you're getting a little differential on that. So that it's nice having that there is just a little bit like that. Now, as far as side to side, we're not really impeded. That one cut there in the design allows us to move quite a bit. And we talked about it being a suit, kind of a skydive suit. By doing that, we're going to move down a little bit on the camera and see that when we move to the side, we don't have to worry. Okay? We don't really have to worry on that. That's a nice option when you have your kicks and such.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not worried about this as I am with some of the others. This tight nylon. You ready for it? I know. I snuck it on you, Terry.
Tread watch.
Bam.
Tread
All right.
watch.
This tread is a unique one. It's reminds me of almost one of those the water shoes. But it is a really neat design on the shoe. This is a split boot.
Yeah.
Okay, so you see our plenty of range of motion.
Any time you can offer the collectors a split boot is a good thing.
Exactly.
It's essential to good posing. I mean, it's nobody wants to showcase their figures with the sole being cockeyed and off the plane. It's no.
Exactly. All right.
Boots for the win.
The shin armor. This is where I said you get that deep blue. And I talked about the little subtle variants of blacks and metallics, as this one has that really, really almost deep bluish black to it on there. With a little light off, you might be able to tell a little better. And again, the little dots of red. It is allowing us to do a split 2-part knee there, so we get a lot of range.
Now, I seem to remember in the game, and the footage I've seen of the game, those little dots of red actually do light up. But I'm assuming that we don't do that on this.
No, there's not a light up feature on this, but yes, in the
you know
in
how,
the
you know
game
how
they
big of a
illuminate.
fan I am. You know how big of a
Yes.
fan I am of not having light up features. So,
Well,
yeah.
with these here, in order to do something like that, I think you'd have all of the mechanics and the little battery compartments. You'd have a heavier figure, which would be one issue. And because it's not, they're just little dots. I don't know that it would really accent it too much. So I'm totally fine with the fact they didn't do it. There you go. You've got your thigh armor there on the outside. Again, that blend of the metallics, different types of the suits. And these are an elastic strap on these, so when you are posing them, you don't need to worry. See when I'm doing it up there, attaching there, that it does have the bend. As you can see, if we go to a wider shot,
Dude, yeah, you can, that's almost a great pose for, like, he's just getting ready to launch a kick. You know, it's like
I mean, you can.
I would totally pose him with another figure, like doing that, just getting ready to just like smack him upside the head with that boot.
Which you know is going to hurt. Which you know is going to hurt. Now I showed the side to side leg. You've got good range to the back. Of course, having the ability to do the double joint on the knee gives it a much more animated look.
Now, see, for that, I would pose him like getting ready to kick a soccer ball.
There you go. Forward, just about to 90 on that one there. Now, the belt does have a bit of range of motion if you needed to kind of hike it up out of the way to get a little more. You are able to. Of course, you can then pivot the leg.
Wow.
So you've got a lot of range. As I said, this is what I like about this one is the range of motion. There is a huge range of motion.
I'm really impressed by what I'm seeing
on
so
this
far.
figure here. Now, Alex, are there any questions about its points of articulation, range of motion, or anything like that before I start showing off some of its other bits?
Well, a lot of the comments, I feel like you've answered most of them with the lights. A lot of people were asking if it does light up, and a bunch of people were asking if it is die cast because they heard you say the word metal, and they, I think you mean like it's metal.
Yes, understandable.
But also someone did ask if the joints ratchet, but
Collectors?
obviously we see it.
Collectors love diecast, man.
They do.
Yes. In response of is it die cast? No. There are no die cast pieces that I'm aware of on there. It's definitely not externally, and I don't think they've added any internally. It is just all done with incredible paint ops to give you that. All right. Now, one major component, and one of the things that really sets this guy apart is the wings. Okay, so what I want to show now is how we're going to do those up. Okay.
Instructions. Yeah.
And that is this here. Okay. The reason I am going to do this, it's actually called a bat cape. And so let's talk about how we do that. All right. In the box is going to be this here. Sam, do I need to turn the light on, or would it be best to leave it off? Either way? Okay. Now, this piece here, you do pull in half. Okay, be gentle about it, but it does come apart. All right, so I'm going to gently do that.
Gently, gently.
Gently. All right, as you can see, it's got the peg and hole to hold it. All right.
Okay.
You're also going to see on this side here, the two holes that are going to lock there. But you also see two pegs that are right there. Can you see those well enough, Terry?
I can. I can't speak for everybody.
All right.
I can.
On the wing, when you pull this out,
Uh-huh.
here we are. Now
Look
there
how
is
cool it
wire
is.
within the three, but yes, okay, you see that?
It's not even on the body, and it already
Nope,
looks,
it's not on the bottom.
thick. I mean,
You've got your oval there with the two holes. That is going to line in there. You are also going to line up the large pegs. Okay. Now, when you look at the wing itself, you're going to see kind of how it sets itself up. So we're going to line those up accordingly, and I will quickly put this together. Alex, while I'm doing this, do we have any questions about it? I don't want to rush through it, but I don't want to.
We didn't have any questions about it, but Single Songwriter on YouTube was doing the disclaimer for us. Please don't try to toss this in the air; it won't actually fly. So I guess that's a good disclaimer.
Well, I'm glad that he's done it instead of them asking me to do it, and I do it here in studio. All right, so there we go. You see, there's the little oval and the other. Makes sense. And push together.
I feel like you practiced this.
I did this once. Just because I wanted... the instructions do not show it quite as in-depth as I did there, but it does explain to you this is 2 pieces. So now let's take a look at the wing now that we have it together. I like it just like that. There we go.
Yeah, I just kind of like when I put it in front of something and have it silhouette.
Exactly.
Like, put it in a big light panel.
You have 1, 2, and 3 wires. Okay, that you can pose with. This here, the large armature, is not a posable element. Okay, this does not bend. So don't do it and snap your wings. Here, we're going to do a quick close-up. Sam's going to get on that, and you see where it has the pegs that'll go in on the back of the figure, right here. I'm going to remove that. You see the pegs that'll hold. What I'm going to do here, and I suggest that you do it, rotate so those are out of the way. This is kind of a silken sheen fabric, and I don't want to scratch on it. So that's why I move those off to the side when I attach it. Once you do your pose, sure, go right ahead. But
that's so cool.
You got to dig the wing. A hard armatured wing like that is pretty darn neat. And as I said, these here do have the wire in them, allowing us to do quite a bit with them. All right, I'm going to move Bats out of the way and quickly talk some accessories. We will, of course, be playing with the wings a little bit more. Alex, any questions about them?
No questions about the wings. I was just about to answer someone in there, but yeah, there's no questions about the wings right now. JJ Joe did ask how far back his head can tilt. He wants to see if you could just display that again.
JJ, I'm going to do that again, and I will, of course, do it once I've got the wing back on again, but quite a good range. So I think what JJ is probably curious about is when you do have the wings, if you want to do a flight kind of pose, is it going to have the right look? And the answer to that looks to be yes. Say that gives you quite a range. Staring down over the city there. All right.
As one does.
Yeah, as one does. Now the last thing, and we'll show this again with the other, you do have your dynamic stand we talked about, showing the emblem on there, a little bit of the grid pattern that we've seen. Now this dynamic stand is a hard, heavy duty one. The top, actually, you're going to unscrew. Then I'm going to lay on so. Lock it back down with this. And I am going to use my small screwdriver on the side. Tighten it up. All right.
Fair.
But it's going to, obviously, this is a character you're going to want to have flight to. So you're going to want to have it high up like that. So, yeah, you think? So we're going to set that off. All right. On your top tray, you are going to have a huge amount of accessories. And particularly weaponry. All right. And so let's get into those. Now, in your instructions, the ones that Terry's
enjoying
unaware of, it's going to tell you which hand to use, all right, for these. Yeah. So I'm going to do that with it. I'm going to take out the Batarangs first. You're going to have 2 classic Batarangs and 1 very specific to the Batman Beyond. I'm also going to be using my tweezers because there's so many cool little things in here. So remember we talked about those. So there is going to be...
Love it.
Again, highlighted with that red and got the bat look on there. Now here is the classic, and I'm going to hold that one up as well with the blade. Now, as you can see, it has that center dot there. It would appear that these are movable or that they can fold. They do not.
I sense a butt. Okay,
okay,
cool.
Do not do that, folks. They are a solid as they are. So they're not that kind of thing. But you are going to have both a right and a left hand that have an area between the thumb for holding said Batarangs. All right, I dig that. So hopefully no Batarang questions. Next up, big honking gun. Such a wild... Batman's gadgets were always really wild.
Especially in the game.
Yeah. I mean, his armament in movies and in comics were intense, but the games really got some wild ones. Okay? Now, this does look, and it is designed to have the appearance that this folds. It does not. Okay? So do not crack that one. Okay? So don't crack your Batarangs and don't crack your large gun. Now we're going to get to the smaller grappling gun style. All right. Now this has a couple of different end pieces and a couple of different grapplings. This one here in a closed position, this does remove. All right. Then you have an entirely different front end you can put on, but that also has a removable. And that, let's see, we'll give a little tweezer hit there so you can see that that's in an open form. All right. So you have the 2 different ends that'll go on here. You've got that one there. And you also have one here. It's only one way they go. They have kind of a larger and smaller peg. So they'll go in one way. And I can do it in like so, if I wanted that. This particular gun also uses the firing the lines.
You're fired.
The firing lines. Okay, as you can see there, it's going to have that large brass that'll go in there. As you can see what I'm doing with it, it is a flexible. This is a wire. All right, and it's kind of in a mid open point there. What I do want to say about that is this is wire. Obviously, you can wrap it around things if you wanted. Realize that when you do something like that, it will kind of take on that shape. So as far as getting it to a straight line again, that would be pretty difficult. So do be gentle when you do these, but it does have the ability to do that. Because of the weight of the end and the thinness of the wire, it does have a natural kind of bend that goes down. But depending on how you have it in a case, perhaps you wrap it around one of the support rods of your case, you do have that option. Next is your line firing gun. Okay, this can also use those wires that we showed, but these also move. So, I mean, lots of gadgets doing lots of stuff. All right. Yeah, my goodness. It's talk about the arsenal. All right. Got his grenade, his light flash grenade.
It kind of feels like they would have to do this. They would have to include pretty much everything.
You got to include all of his stuff. All right. Again, we talked about it. Terry, you mentioned it too, that he always has just wild guns. Now, these are all done not just in a standard black. They've all been given a kind of a wash and a gunmetal paint that gives them some depth. and then this little guy here. All right. And it's going to tell you in your instructions again about which ones you're going to want to use when holding said accessory. All right. We talked about that. We showed off the one that you're going to have there. You have kind of an open fight hand, and you do have more of the trigger hands in both a right and left. And in conclusion, it is time for Terry to tell me what the heck he wants me to do.
Well, I think we're going to make this guy fly.
All right. Okay, we're going to go straight to flight.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
That's always my answer.
All righty. All righty.
Straight to flight.
Okay.
Go flight.
So go flight. All right. Now, Terry, I'm going to have you talk me through this as though we've never done anything like this before. Do you suggest that I pose him first and then put him on the stand, or am I going to put him on the stand first?
Yes.
Yes, I can do either.
Just kidding. Let's see. I think it's dealer's choice. I mean, having never had hands on this figure, I would I find it difficult to actually make that call.
Okay.
But I think that I'm gonna have to. And I'm sorry, I'm having to peek around my camera to get a look at you on the screen there, Guy. But I think that what we're gonna have to do is. Now, tell me right now, how is that? Are there going to be any collisions involved with wrapping that support around his waist with the wings on?
I don't think so, but again, this is why I wanted us to do this together. And Terry, thank you very much for choosing one. This is one of those that, how about I put him waist in there now, and then I can attach. Or if we are going to do flight. This is a little bit of levitating there. But Terry, I have seen and others have done it where they've kind of gone and done the cinch.
And that was in fact what I was going to suggest. Do it from around the waist so that way we can bend the support forward and have him flying forward, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, with that out of the way, so let's just go ahead. That answers our first question. We're going to do this with the figure on the stand. So boom.
Okay.
Next step, I think, is I'm going to want him to have his arms out.
Arms to the sides?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna for our friend that wanted to know about the eyeballs there, we're gonna do that. The looking forward. I am going to tighten tighten our stand itself down.
Clash of the Titan. No. Titanfall. No? Sorry. Cool.
All right. There we go.
I'm just trying to catch up with you guys from the earlier punny comments that you made. I don't think I'm keeping up still, but
I'm crossing all these off as you say them. I'm writing them down, then immediately crossing them off. They're not working for me.
Alex actually usually
that probably works.
Alex has been keeping a track of my puns throughout. I get a weekly breakdown of in fact last week I think I went over my allotment of bad dad jokes, so I actually have to take this week down. Nice. But all right, so Terry, you said arms straight out to the side. I'm going to move the shoulder armament out of the way to allow me to go straight. So we're talking about a 90. I'm going to move this here.
I think about a 90 is a good place to start. I think that for the purpose of the pose, it's going to be informed by the position of the wings. So once we get the wings on there, then we'll have to make another micro adjustment just to make sure everything fits.
All right.
But here's what I'd like to see next. Go ahead and I want to bring up his right leg. As just raise that right leg towards, like he's raising it towards his chest, like he's doing a high knee kind of a thing.
Okay.
You with me? And then bend that other foot. You got it. Bend that other foot back so that the foot is parallel to the leg that trails behind. Okay.
All right. In order to do this, Terry, just while I'm doing the leg, I am going to kind of lift him off of that.
Sure. Whatever you got to do.
But this is, I'm glad that you and I are doing this because I wanted us to really work on when you're posing it with a stand like this. Are you doing it when it's on it? Or are you doing it when it's off it? Or is it a combination?
And like I said, the answer to that is yes. You're going to do some of it on.
You're going to do some in, some off. So there's a straight up, and then of course I've kind of fronted the foot.
I'm going to need more of a bend in that knee, Guy.
More of a bend in the knee.
Yeah. Just like extreme bend right there. That's good.
All right.
No, not necessarily to the leg, but just to the knee. I want to
just to the knee. Boom.
Yeah, there you go. That's it. Nailed it.
Okay. Excellent.
All right. So
now, point of
next
articulation in that chest. Am I arching?
You're definitely arching.
All right, arching.
You already hit it.
Hey.
Can we move? Can we move that straight leg back a little bit? Just a touch, not much. There you go. There we go. Now we got it. Okay. Now here's where the real fun begins.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to need you to do a Terry twist.
All right.
To his right. Torso to the right. Yeah.
Terry twist toward the right.
Yeah. And then the head is going to go a little bit to the right as well. Good idea. Get him on there. Just a touch to the right.
Yeah, this is this is allowing me to this is truthfully, for those of you watching, this is really one of the first times I've done a big kind of forward flight like this, and I really wanted Terry to talk me through it. And so I am doing the on stand, off stand, on stand, off stand.
Yeah. Now the head is just a little too far to the right. I also is he looking up as much as he can right now?
No, I'm going to as far as
all the way
possible, all the way up.
Yeah.
Right now, there is an all the way up.
Okay.
And how are we on a right turn? Is that too much?
That's way too much.
Way too much. Yeah. I'm going back.
Yeah. There we go.
All right.
Okay. That's where I want it. Okay. Let's bring those wings in.
All right. I am going to, because of those, I am going to kind of pivot down so I don't have to worry about the blades hurting it.
Oh, you wuss.
Well, we'll move it back once they're in place, but I don't want to damage it while we're doing it. I'm actually going to take off stand again so I can get a good look at what we're doing here. I would dig a wingsuit like this.
I have a wingsuit just like that.
Do you really?
Fully functional.
Very, very functional.
Yeah. You can constantly find me like leaping off the bluffs over the Mississippi River. It's a lot of fun.
All right. What I'm doing, Terry, that you didn't see, is I had that wire, and I just kind of bent it with the angle of the leg, so it wasn't brushing against it. But I do have those other points on the back.
Right.
Wing. Okay, next up, sir.
Guy, can you bring it around to me? I just want to get a close. I just want to get a front-on look. Is that as far back as those arms will go?
No, you want them
like towards the wings, not down. Like towards the wings. Like
you want them to. You want if you want them to touch the wing. All right.
Yeah, as close as you can to getting them parallel with the wings.
All right. Let me do that then. I'm going to do the butterfly that it's got.
Yeah.
Hike and up.
Yeah, getting there.
All right, Terry. Yeah, that's about what they are because of the design of the way
perfect.
They they kind of are
perfect. That's
independent.
What it needs to be.
Okay,
and
great.
about the only other thing that I would want to do is I know we've done the Terry twist here just a bit.
I can twist some more.
I would like to twist him just a touch more, and what I want to do is I want to have him do like a little bit of a bend at the waist, like he's like he's leaning to the right, to his right.
All right, so I'm going to Terry twist.
A torso bend. Did a torso twist. Now do a Terry. Now do a Terry twist. Now a torso bend. To his right. Showing
you, not on the stand. We're looking at a little something like that.
I think you bent his waist to his left. Yeah, there we go. That way.
All right.
Rotate around. Can I see it? I dig it.
What do you think? Do we adjust these wires up in any way?
Well, this is my first time dealing with this particular, just looking at it visually, I think that it already kind of has the look like it's about to be picking up the wind. You can see, especially in the right side of the wing, that it looks like it's like holding the wind and actually having the support from the wind. That's yeah, I actually dig it. I think it's I think it's fine just the way it is. If anything, I might take the head and just tilt it towards his shoulder, his right shoulder, just a little bit. Not have him turning. Yeah, just there we go. That's it. That's got it.
You know what I like, Terry? I like when you do it in your poser videos, and obviously I love it when I'm getting the hands-on tutorials on this, is just when it's that subtle degree. It can be 3, 4, 5, under 10 degrees of a turn of any type of joint or pose that really just brings it to that next level, gives it that much more life.
I think I've talked about it a lot. When you're talking about when you think you've nailed a pose, you walk away from it for a day, and then you come back and you're like,
yeah,
and you just do a little bit of a tweak. It can take me days, sometimes even weeks, before I've actually got a pose exactly where I like it.
Yeah.
And of course, by then I'm ready to do another pose.
Yeah. I like the way that this stand gives him so much height. And he does feel very, very secure up on there.
I'm glad that I didn't have to tell you to point his toes on that straight leg. That's exactly where they ought to be.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, you know, my years of ballet class.
I knew that about you.
That
you're just so graceful.
Yeah, well,
like he has to have. He has to have done ballet.
I like to glide through.
Yeah.
Through the pose sessions. Alex, before we get more into my dance class history, are there questions about things that we should nail?
There are no questions, but people are really loving this pose. This pose between the two of you, you've created the perfect Batman pose, I think.
Oh, great!
Oh,
I mean, I think
man,
it's definitely a figure that you're wanting to have that flight go.
Go flight.
He's definitely one that.
It's backwards.
Yeah, the go flight.
You can take this pose and do a few things with it. You can actually make it a little bit more extreme on the dive, like where we have it here. It's kind of like he's just leapt off the building and he's getting ready to plummet. But you can also just tweak it a little bit, have just a bit more of an aggressive posture to it, so that it looks like he's actually getting ready to do a dive. You would want to do that if you were going to put the figure up on a high shelf, and so that if somebody were walking by that shelf and looked up, they'd just be like,
now Terry, if I was going to say leave it in this pose but do that, would I just invert him on the stand that he's on?
I don't know. Would you?
I'm gonna move back in here for a second. I'm just curious, when you bring up something like that, are you referring to?
And that would require some tweaking, definitely.
Obviously, tweaking the pose, but
yeah, like what I would be doing with that is I would actually have his arms a little bit closer to his sides.
Hang on a second.
And then I don't know if there's a way that you can like just kind of tilt it back just a little bit, just so that we can not the whole stand, but just like tilt it back so that we can just see. Oh, you gotta tighten that thing, huh?
Yep. I'm gonna tighten that, but well, I was wiggling with it.
Just checking the time. I think it's about time for us to do our Guess the Reveal for next Tuesday's show, Guy.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, then I'm gonna take Bats down off here then.
Okay.
But I do like that you and I have said that there are ways that you could do two things. You could have him kind of in an upward or glide that we've talked about here.
Yep.
Or kind of I like the idea, like you said, a higher shelf, because that does be, some people have cases, some are doing them on shelves. A flying figure on a shelf like that would be pretty darn neat.
Yeah. Now, just really quick, Guy, let me interject. But for those of you who've not watched the show before, this is the time where we actually have you try to guess which figure we're going to be revealing on next Tuesday's show. So this is the point where you just start pounding out on your keyboards. Alex is going to be monitoring across all social media challenges. That's a challenge. Channels. That's a challenge in and of itself. To go, Alex, go. To determine which of you gets that or guesses next week's figure correctly. And so start pounding out the keyboards and tell us what you think the next figure is going to be. I actually don't know. I don't even know if Guy knows.
No. I purposely don't want to ever know. That's kind of the fun part, and our producers here are pretty strict on the what knowledge will I have.
All right.
And it's a nope. I mean, I've walked in to get ready to do a figure like this, and I'm told not to go into the room yet because they haven't covered up stuff that they don't.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Don't want me seeing. You and I just did the flight thing. on this, which is probably, I think, for most, the big excitement pose
Yeah, but I
to
think
do
we
with
can
this
do
figure.
one more
But
pose and
you've
actually
got
try to
so much going on with this guy. When I look and you just the weaponry alone, you have 5 different. Well, wait a second. What?
Well, hang on a second,
yeah.
Guy. I'm just hearing from Alex that we already have a winner for the guess the reveal. So,
Oh, man.
you guys can stop guessing. Apparently, we already have somebody picked out. Alex, what do you got for us?
All right. Well, don't tell me what it is yet, but we do have a winner.
I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, but we do have a winner. Actually, on YouTube, AJ Agrusa is our winner. So, I mean, if you know the deal, send an email to social@sideshow.com.
Hey, AJ, thanks for watching.
I'm going to stop looking at comments right now.
Don't look.
So because the Scout Trooper was almost spoiled for me the last time. So
yeah.
All right.
So I'm still keeping that quiet.
Ready?
Okay, good.
Here we go.
Okay, so while we no. Oh wait. Oh, okay. I guess we're revealing it now. It's Bill and Ted.
Dude! Excellent!
Excellent.
This is going to be so much fun.
Right. Yeah, that'll be a good time.
All right.
2 poses per figure. That's gonna be a long show, everyone.
This
Hey, nice, Alex.
These guys here, if you've seen what they come with, there is a huge amount of accessories. I am really excited we get to do this. All right.
Yeah, awesome.
Wild
Why aren't you guys
Stallions,
doing the
folks. So
pose?
everybody wear your Wild
sorry.
Stallion shirts next week if you've got them.
I do not have a.
Yeah, there you go, Guy. You got to do the pose.
If you're not doing the pose, you can't. If you're not doing the pose, you can no longer be in our club.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You forfeit your piece of the pie.
It will be. That'll be a fun show. I'm excited.
If
about
anybody
that.
caught that reference, then I'm.
Yeah, exactly. You've got to really know your Bill and Ted.
You got to really know your Roger Avery. Anyway,
which I do. So.
Yeah. Okay, so pose number 2 for this Batman Beyond 6 figure. What do you think? I think we've done a flight pose, so let's simplify things a little bit and just get a really awesome museum pose with lots of presence. Have him standing tall, proud, and menacing. Is menacing the proper word? No, probably just intimidating. Stoic.
Wow, did you hear? I don't know if you heard Sam. He said imposing.
Wow, man, I really got to up my game.
So, Alex, if you would write Sam's name on the sheet for bad dad
Do
jokes,
that right now, please.
and one check mark
just
for imposing.
Welcome to the club, Sam.
So, congratulations.
Circle, highlighted everything.
All right. So, what I did is just go back to kind of a neutral.
Okay.
On there. I will say this: when you remove the cape, remember that this is just wire and the thin fabric. So when you are going to be lifting, put your hand underneath the back of the character and lift from that point.
Right on, Donkey Kong.
Don't just yank. All right. Do you want any form of weaponry?
Of course, yeah. Dealer's choice. You've got them all scattered there. Which one do you think looks the coolest? Which one do you want to work with the most?
Well, he's got a very specific batarang in this outfit.
All right.
So I'm going to put on my batarang left hand. Place my Batman Beyond.
And I'm going to make a request that on the right hand we do some kind of a gun.
All right.
Yeah.
Right hand gun. Wow. Okay. Which weapon do I like the most? As any of those who've watched the show know, I am not any good at the games. I do love them, but I'm not any good at them.
I'm good at every aspect of this game except for driving that Batmobile. I am all over the place. And anybody who's actually been in a car when I'm driving knows that's not an issue that I have when I'm actually in a real car. But something about that Batmobile, I just can't handle it. It's too much vehicle for me.
Too much vehicle?
It is. It's really challenging, I think. But then I'm, getting old.
So
Producer
wait, is
Alan
it,
has just chimed in to say that he's amazing at driving that Batmobile. So
see,
apparently,
I was
age
going
is
to
not
say,
the
so,
issue. It's just
I
me.
mean, maybe age is not
No,
part of
I'm not
why
saying Alan.
one can.
I'm not saying Alan's old. Alan
No,
and I are the
no,
same
you were
age.
saying you're too old to drive the Batmobile well, and maybe that's not the case.
Clearly not age. No, it's clearly just me.
It's sadly, sir, it seems to be.
My reflexes have gone down the toilet.
Trying to think which gun I like the most. This is because when you have a figure that has so many accessories, it does become difficult to decide which darn one you want to do.
Producer Alan needs to stop making me laugh on the show.
Yeah, he's got the puns going too, and he's destroying all of us with puns.
Yeah. If only you guys could see, but
You know, I think you can get it. I bought Alan's book of puns. It's available online. Yeah, that's where I get a lot of my puns.
Oh, you're the one.
Yeah. I bought the one. It's a hardback. It's a hardcover copy of it. All right. So I'm placing a gun that I like in the hand. Are we having this Bats aiming this at somebody down to the side? Talk to me here.
No. This is not gonna be action oriented. This is gonna be very museum-esque.
Okay.
I'm gonna have the gun arm bent up like he's holding that gun at the ready.
Okay.
And the batarang that you have is going to be on display, but it's going to be like in a low guard position, sort of a thing.
Okay.
Yeah, you follow?
Yep.
I hope that explains it clearly enough. If not, though, I'm totally into.
If not, you'll explain it again.
I will guide you in the appropriate direction, my friend.
All right. So whoopsie.
You're doing great.
Well, as you can see, the gauntlets are a removable piece.
Yes. Yeah. That's
all right. That's important to know because I didn't push the hand peg in.
I think that's important to know. I think that's really cool. I mean, not that you would like remove the gauntlet permanently, but it's
no.
It's
but you do. You know, when you saw, particularly when I was putting on the wings, that I did it in such a manner as to not have the tines.
Yeah.
Out. Same kind of thing. Okay, so you said our batarang down on the side. I do want to show off its unique thing. So palm out or palm. There we go.
While you're before we get into this, I just want to point out that one thing I neglected to mention is that the winner of today's guess the reveal will be receiving free of charge a copy of Figure Fantasy by Daniel Picard. It's an outstanding book featuring the photography of this excellent artist he's one of the first people that I saw who took the 6-scale figures that Hot Toys and Sideshow produced and recreated them photographically, just brought them into the real world using Photoshop and various forms of digital manipulation. Really cool stuff going on there. I've seen some of his photos blown up into like large formats and framed. They're really glorious to look at. So congratulations again to today's winner, and you'll be receiving a copy of that book in the mail soon. I believe you need to get in touch with Alex about that. Is that right, Alex?
Yeah, I got in touch with AJ. Let him know how to get in touch with us.
Okay,
so
cool.
He's good to go.
All right, so let's pose this figure. Are you set to go, Guy?
Yes.
All right, so you've got his head turned pretty much in the direction that I would like it to be turned, and that's cool. So let's. It looks like that batarang is. Could I get a close up on that batarang? I just can't really see what's going on there. If that's possible. There we go. Yeah. Okay. I think that what we want to do is just kind of like leave that just as it is. That's good. Is there a way that you can get it closer to his leg though? Can that arm lower just a little bit more? Yeah, now we're talking. You're probably gonna have to fix that batarang eventually. But
I kind of like that he's holding it just.
Actually, I do too.
On the tip of the thing there.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay. All right, cool. Thank you, Sam, for that close-up shot there.
Thanks, Sam.
Yeah, cool. And it looks like have you already done a bit of a torso twist to his left? Or
would I have preemptively Terry twisted? I did preemptively Terry twist.
Wow, you don't need me anymore.
No, I do. Oh, for goodness sake. Yes.
So let's go ahead and take that gun and bring it up.
Okay. Oh, I'm going to go right to the...
Yeah. Right, so that's cool. Yeah. And I like what you're
kind of showing the palm, or are we Gonna kind of twist.
I like what you started. Yeah, there you go. I like what you started to do there because of the limitations of the armor, and that's I think that's fine. But just for as a nice aesthetic effect, rotating that hand the way you just did really provides a really solid angle onto that gun that I find to be quite attractive.
Yeah, Terry twisted. What I'm gonna do is put the Batarang in at the very end once we've kind of done our legs and everything. I don't want the small little fragile guy to get in the way, but I have Terry twisted there. I'm going to rotate the left leg, give that a twist. So let's go forward. What do we think about the lean? Okay, and knee bends.
At this point, yeah, if we could back out, there we go. Good. All right, so I'm going to need that Terry twist to be just a little bit more towards the left. I can't believe that we're actually calling this the Terry twist, and like with a totally straight face.
Yeah,
now.
for those at home,
ironic.
come on, baby, do the Terry
anymore.
twist.
It's become the thing.
All right,
Come on, baby.
Little more twist there. I'm digging the twist.
Are those legs as straight as they'll get?
Nope, I can straighten them out. No bend in the knee then?
No bend in the knee. Yeah.
No bend in the knee.
Yeah.
Okay, we're straight up.
Okay.
Now, what about our...
A bit more of a head turn.
Bit more of a head turn? What about our tilt at the waist? Are we
I want him to tilt towards the camera. Tilt that way so it's a little bit more towards the camera. Like he's leaning into it. There we go.
All right.
Oh, yeah. All right. The one thing that I'm not digging is you see how he looks like he's just leaning a little bit forward at the waist. I would like to have just a bit more of an arch to the back and possibly accentuate that by bringing the leg itself further back towards the glutes. You know, flex those glutes.
Okay, there here.
More than anything else. And then we'll have to fix that head to compensate there, I think. Once I get an angle on it, I'll be able to judge it better, but okay, let's see this motion that I'm kind of doing. Okay, kind of like imagine that that gun that he's holding is a dumbbell, and he's actually going to be doing a bit of a or what do you call it, butterfly? Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of like flex those pecs. Bring that arm a little bit forward if you can. I'm not sure what the limitations of the arm are.
Nope. Moving it forward.
Cool. Good. You got it. Ah, that's better. That's definitely better. And
yeah, he does pose really well. I mean, I'm not having a hard time moving him around because of the that fabric undersuit and then the armament kind of on it. I can kind of lift and move and hold those as I do that. So
right. Now, the one thing that I'd like to see if we could do, Guy, is it looks like he's leaning a little bit too far forward at the ankles. Looking at that right now, I'm just panicking and thinking, oh my God, he's about to fall forward. Okay. Which we don't want to do. That really sets off that really triggers my inner poser. Not aesthetically, but just saying, okay, that's just really
that a little more straightforward there.
It also might be an issue with the camera angle. I'm not sure. You can tell me if you think that it's enough, but it just feels like, yeah, there we go. Get that head turned. Actually, I would turn that head just a little bit more. Gosh, again, it just feels like he's leaning too far forward at the ankles. If you could just like get him back a little bit more. I don't know if that's going to upset the balance or not, but
nope. I'm going to adjust as need be. Do you think he's leaning too far back?
Maybe a little.
That's
too far
kind of
back.
a straight
again,
up.
Again, I think the angle is really messing with me there.
Now you wanted the chest down a little bit. He's going to crunch a little at the waist. Is that something you said? A little back on that one.
Show me what you got.
What do you think?
That's fine. Yeah.
Fine.
That's fine. Yeah, it's fine. It's a bit. I think I'm failing at something here, and I'm trying to discern why. But there's just something about it that I'm not hitting here, and I think maybe it's just it almost seems like what we've got here is sort of a cross between, like, it can't decide if it wants to be a museum pose or an action pose. There's a bit of a stiff quality to his posture that I'm trying to figure out how to correct, and for whatever reason
Does it need a little bend in the leg?
I would actually rather see the legs come together more. Like he's a little bit too much at a ready stance. Like I want him just this side of relaxed.
All right.
That's better. That's already better. That's already better. Yeah.
How we do?
We lost something. We lost something there again. If you can maybe just rotate it just a little bit more towards me. No, not the waist, the figure. I just want to get a good look.
What do you think?
All right. Yeah, that's nailed it. Good. Cool.
There we go. We went. It's when we put the legs together. I think you were right. We had a combination of.
Yeah. Again, I couldn't figure out what it wanted to be.
It was that single frame in between action.
Okay. Awesome.
But yeah.
All right. So
again,
that
does
is
show that he has so many opportunities.
Yep. All right, everyone. So that is a wrap for today's issue. That is a wrap for today's episode of Unsealed and Revealed. Thanks again, everybody, for joining us today. Congratulations to today's winner of the Guess the Reveal contest. Expect to receive your copy of Daniel Picard's figure fantasy book. I flaked on the title there for a minute. Tune in on next Tuesday when we'll be unboxing, unsealing, and revealing Bill and Ted from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. And as always, don't forget to let your geek side show.
Bye, everybody.
Have a good one.
Take care.